Hey, everybody. It is Wednesday morning at just after 11 o'clock Central Time. And that means this is Brown Bag Lunch, where I bring you whatever I can bring you in just a few minutes weekly to add value to the lives of air conditioning technicians, whether you are a tech or whether you love a tech or you employ a tech or whatever your level of engagement is with techs. So, um, I want to make a comment before I get into the topic for the day. For those of you who follow with the podcast, HVAC Joy Lab, we've had fewer episodes over the summer. Down here in the South, it has been remarkably oppressive heat, record levels of heat over the summer. And you all know what that does to our business. So I've had fewer guests on over the summer. Just is what it is. But we're picking it back up now in the fall, and you should see some more episodes coming out. So you'll have another new one this Sunday. So that's it. No, when they come out on Sunday morning, and so be sure to take a look at HVAC Joy Lab if you're not listening to it. So the topic I want to talk about today is just simply what I call the grind. I really would like to put an effort into elevating the value of the grind. And here's what I mean by the grind. There's an early phase in the career of a technician, and it may come later if it doesn't happen early, but there's a period of doing the work before it doesn't, you're not good enough at it yet for it to feel good. And that makes it a grind. It's just, you need reps. If you were a golfer, you need more time at the driving range, hitting each of your clubs 100 times off the tee. You just, there's this phase. It's unavoidable. It must happen for you to have a career in this business. And it's the least fun part of having an air conditioning career, right? And it lasts anywhere from a year to 3 or 4 years, depending on the kind of work you're doing. The more sort of isolated the work is that you do, meaning if you're residential and you only work 3 or 4 different kinds of equipment, then the grind is shorter because you're learning just that. If you work on the commercial side, especially if you work in a maintenance company, the grind takes longer because there's more things to touch. There's everything from air cooled, water cooled. There's all kinds of equipment that you end up in front of. And so that grind takes several years longer to get through. But for all of us, and I'm saying this both for any audience members that are in the grind now, but also for those of you who have come after it, let's get our arms around these young guys. I mean this in a positive way, because you and I both know, if you're a veteran technician, you all know this feeling around the guys who are in the grind. And there's a kind of like, well, no one helped me through the grind. I just had to suck it up and do it. Like, we have a shortage of guys, and we have to help guide them through this period. Because if they're not going to make it, it's because of this period. Okay. And so while the grind is unavoidable, we can frame it differently, and we can kind of cheerlead these young guys through that phase, because they need to know this isn't how it is forever. And the only people, I can say it, but I can't say it the way you can, veteran technician. It doesn't last forever. There comes a time when you feel this freedom that, it's been one way it's been said is it's the simplicity on the other side of complexity. You've done enough reps. You've been there and done that. Occasionally you'll bump into something that you're like, wow, I need to look something up here on YouTube or maybe make a phone call. But you've got the skill set. You've got the knowledge. You know what to do. You know what you're looking at when you're looking at it, barring a very unusual situation. And that kind of life feels better than the grind, even if it's hot out, even if it's, even if you're on a rooftop or in an attic or whatever. It still emotionally feels better when you really are confident and you really feel like you know what you're doing. Okay. So what I would like for all of us to do, I just want to encourage you to do it. If I'm going to do it, if you'll join me in it, is to kind of elevate and encourage and salute the young guys who are going through the grind. because it is a gauntlet. And I have the feeling, just talking to younger technicians, that nobody told them this was coming. And so they hit this point of frustration where they wonder if they made the right decision, right? And it's not until after the grind, in most cases, it's not until after the grind that they decide whether this is a job or a career. And it's getting through the grind that really leads them into saying, yes, this is going to be my career. Okay. So it's critically important that they get through the grind. And and I'm defining it in a fuzzy way on purpose. It isn't exactly 2 years. It isn't. You just sort of know it. It you feel the challenge, you feel the frustration, you feel slower than other people doing the same task. You don't know if it's okay. You're uncertain about yourself. You're uncertain about certain things. You're trying to show that you're not uncertain, even though you are. And then slowly the clouds part, and you start hitting a string of situations you've seen before. And then now you've seen them multiple times, and the track starts getting faster and drier, and away you go, right? And you've made it through the grind. But these young guys need people who will help them understand, this is a necessary part of the process. There is no such thing as a great technician who has not been through the grind, full stop. And B, it doesn't last forever. It's not fun, but you have to do it. And so for you who are the senior techs, I'm appealing to you to, metaphorically or literally, put your arm around that younger guy when you can see he's going through it. Sometimes, different young people respond to the grind differently. Sometimes it's a very discouraging kind of thing. Sometimes sometimes they poke up a little bit stiff and arrogant about it, like, I'm above this, but you're not. But whatever the thing is that you're going through, you're going to deal with it somehow. It's going to show up somehow. And these guys who are in the grind, they need people who have gone before them to help them know what's going on. Again, that it's necessary and it doesn't last forever. Okay. That kind of encouragement is very significant. And for you guys who are older, it will bring a lot of meaning to your life if you reach out to these younger guys. One of the challenges that happens in the later on in the career of a technician is a certain kind of boredom with the routine. And there's a little kind of leaking away of meaning in the work. Where that meaning gets recaptured is when you begin to pass the torch to younger guys. And this is one small way to begin to do that. They will appreciate it, even if they, again, they all respond to it differently. Sometimes they respond to it in a way that is easy to engage with them. Sometimes it's not easy. But they all need to know. They all need to hear it, and they need to hear it from you. They'll hear it from me, but my name's John. I'm your friend, but I'm not a tech. I research techs. My life is technicians, but I'm not a tech. But you are. You lived the grind. I lived a grind, but it wasn't as a tech. So basically, that's what I want to pass out there today. If you hear this talk and you're an older tech and you know exactly what I'm talking about with the grind, if there's a younger tech around you and they're going through it, just talk to them. How are you doing? I mean, is somebody helping you understand this phase of your career? Do you realize that, this is a necessary part of becoming a great technician, and it doesn't always feel this way. Okay. So let's do our part together, reach out to these younger guys and help them through that phase. Because the more of them that come out, we're so out of balance right now that it puts more burden on the veteran guys. And you all know what I'm talking about. You get put on call too much. You get asked for too much because there aren't enough of you. So there's no risk at this point in having too many good techs out there. There's no chance of that happening, at least in the next 15 years. So being able to bring these guys through the grind lessens your burden. And so everybody wins. Okay. All right. Well, listen, this has been Brown Bag Lunch. I'm Dr. John Sherk. Again, if you're not listening to HVAC Joy Lab, perk up, get on Spotify, get on Apple Podcasts, look up HVAC Joy Lab, and join us. There'll be another posting, another episode this Sunday. We'll see you next week.